What's going on, everybody? This is Reaper, and I am back with another video. Alright, well, today we are going to discuss my view on the new game Impulse that is in demo mode right now, and it will be in release mode, early access, come next Wednesday. So I am actually having a lot of fun with this game. I think this game is actually quite better than Splitgate, thank effing God, and it is so much faster and it is so much better, especially without the portals and the actual BS, low sensitivity and crap like that. It's so much faster, and all you gotta do is just point and shoot. And I've listened to a lot of creators over the last couple days on their opinions on this game, and this game is absolutely amazing. I am level 61 right now, and it goes all the way to, I think, 70 or something like that. But you know, it is available for until the 21st, I think, is what they said. So it is actually going to be quite quite a grind, and nothing that you do in this demo carries over into the full game. So when you get the full game for $19.99, it either on Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation, you will have to start all over. So just keep that in mind. But this game is actually quite fun, and I actually am rather enjoying it. There are a few quirks in this game that I think a lot of people gotta keep in mind. For example, the lack of, aim down sights. Back in the day, we didn't really have aim down sights. We just had point and shoot. And this is kind of what this game reminds me of. Is like one of those games that you basically have to use hand-eye coordination to instantly kill people. But it is actually quite fun, and I actually am having a beautiful time doing this game. So it is actually one of those games that, if you have the skill to actually manage to get good, you will get good. But there is a skill gap. People are right. People are right. There is a skill gap. And for the most part, people are, either, average or they absolutely suck. But overall, I'm kind of somewhere in between. Some matches I do really good, some matches I don't. But people are saying this is the successor to Titanfall 3. I don't really believe that. I believe this is kind of like a successor to one of those arena classic shooters that you don't see very often, especially when the entire game is based around movement, not so much around mechs. But it is actually quite entertaining to play, and I'm having a blast all week playing this. So, and I have played over 50 hours on this demo. So this has actually been quite an entertaining grind. And I do enjoy all the weapons that 1047 have actually, produced in this game compared to Splitgate. And I do believe the um, um, time to kill is actually quite perfect. I don't think it needs to be buffed. I don't think it needs to be nerfed. I think it just needs to stay where it is, because I personally think that if you actually have perfect hand-eye coordination, perfect perfect aim, perfect point and shoot concepts, you'll do just fine. But and this game has a lot of similarities to different games, but it is its own personal individual game in and of itself, and I am actually quite enjoying it. Now, if I had some feedback to give to 1047, like most people do, I would say that they gotta give you the option to have more than one paint option, because just having one paint option isn't really gonna cut it for the longevity of the actual game. So, for the most part, what I use is I use speed paint. I was using explosive paint earlier last night, and that was, a decent trick, but it wasn't really necessarily keeping the flow up. And the basic thing about this game is you gotta get the flow of the movement down in order to stay alive. So like that's kind of the other thing that I kind of was basically, trying to master. But if you use speed paint, you basically just keep moving, you keep moving, you keep moving, you keep shooting, and it is quite an entertaining grind. Um, but the one thing that I will say for people that people don't like getting shot in the back, hammered in the back, and basically getting stomped on. You got to get good, and that's the main thing with multiplayers and online competitive shooters and stuff like that. People just don't like that they actually have to get good in order to improve. And I think that is kind of the lesson to be learned from this game is that if you want to get good at this game, you gotta practice. You gotta hone your skills. You gotta basically practice to get good. And that's kind of the you know skill comes with practice. Basically, is basically what I will say. But I've had a lot of fun, and I've unlocked a lot of weapons. Right now, what I'm trying to do is unlock the homing AR, which is at um, level 67, but I'm level 61 right now, so that is pretty much the uh, progress of where I am now. But anyway, that's just my take on this game, Impulse. I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week enjoying this game. I will see you on the servers later.